Hello, everyone. My name is Jenny and welcome to all of my new subscribers. It's so nice to have you all here. I usually do videos as if I'm just having a conversation with friends and just reminding people of what they already know. I'm well aware that in every dimension, in every existence where we are right now, we have different roles. And so I never, set myself out there as someone to emulate. I just think of it as us having a conversation and, yeah, old friends talking is what Metatron is saying. So I work with the manifestation of the Holy Spirit, the Creator's expression of God, Archangel Metatron, and I was thinking that we were going to go in one direction for this video, but he changed it up a little bit since the last time that we spoke about it. In the last video, I knew that I was covering so much material that I wouldn't have time to read the Omega symbol, and so he's been bringing that to my mind since the video was made. And we're going to do a little bit of manifesting and healing at the end of this video. I want to remind everyone that Mercury has moved out of bounds, or will very shortly here coming up, and he'll be out of bounds until the 5th of January. So that can be where we have a bit of a retrograde feel from Mercury. When any planet is out of bounds, they're sort of like a renegade or maverick planet. And so that will have to do with communications. And now Venus has left Scorpio, her least favorite place to be, and moved into Sagittarius. She's in fire now. And so she's feeling kind of gutsy and ready to strike out on a new path, is what Metatron is saying. It's funny, this sweater is actually not black. It's actually navy blue, but it looks black on the camera. I don't know why, but so I wanted to, let me just get my notes here. Okay, so the Eclipse Gateway, I posted a picture, and if you hit the notification bell, then you'll get a notification when I post in the community tab. I'm going to probably be doing more of that and less on other social media. Really with Facebook, unless you've had a page for years and years, unless you're paying to boost the post, it doesn't really get shown that much. So I'll be using YouTube more for that. And I posted an image from, and I don't know the photographer, the person who I saw share it didn't give the photographer's name, but it was taken in Norway on the 28th of November. And that's when this gateway, eclipse portal gateway, opened. And that remains open until we have the first new moon that comes in January. So it depends on where you are, but that'll be the 12th or 13th of January. And while we're still in those new moon energies, and I'll talk about it more obviously when I do those videos, Uranus will station and then begin moving direct. Chiron is now stationary direct, beginning to move forward, and then we're done with the 2020 retrogrades. Now the 30th of January, depending on where you are, could be the 1st of February. Mercury will go retrograde in Aquarius. But let's talk about, like, right now, what's happening with Mercury and Venus being there together in Sagittarius while Mercury is so far out of bounds. He doesn't have too much more time to spend in Sag. He'll move into Capricorn, still out of bounds. But I wanted to bring to your attention because it's happened for me a couple of times during this week. Part of the awakening process is the realization that no one has power or control over us. And if there are still programs in the subconscious that someone is allowed to take advantage of us, or that someone did something to us, victimized us in some way, then, people will come along to show us that that program is still there. no one can ever take anything that's meant for us or change our divine timing. And no one ever has power. He's saying authority or power or control over us. We are sovereign beings, and teachings in the ancestors or our own past lives, what's happening in our DNA, in our DNA suits that we're wearing. Those, like 90% of the subconscious, and that's scientific, it's not a spiritual um, discovery, is what he's saying. But about 90% of our choices are made because of the patterns in the subconscious mind. And so we're going to be removing stories of that no longer serve us in the DNA, doing DNA healings, to release programs that were unable to manifest what it is that we would like to create. And because then that gives way to, really, it goes back to, do we trust ourselves? Do we trust that we're guided, that we are a part of source? The creator abides within us as we abide within the creator, and that includes the physical body. The physical body is also a part of the creator. Every quark, which is smaller than a molecule of every single thing, has the pattern of life, the sacred geometry, the manifestation of the creator brought to the material, to the physical. And so nothing can ever, he's saying, detour us from our path unless we allow that to happen. And so a lot of when I spoke with him about what we would be addressing today, he was pointing to gifts and opportunities to use our ingenuity, and he reminding us that our ancestors faced times of, that were far more devastating than we have going on right now. There didn't used to be a way, we didn't know how to stop pandemics or epidemics, and we were just the targets. And that's why a lot of people have gone into fear and felt that they were being overpowered or controlled somehow because of those stories that were not healed in the DNA. But as relates to partners and our communications right now, please remember that when you say something to someone and it's just to you, not anything like an accusation or a put down, their reaction, if you get anger back at you, that has nothing to do with you. And what happens a lot with our soulmates, the members of our soul family, and that's our family of origin, and anyone that we're friends with, even coworkers, typically our soul family members, then we can feel as if it's like we need to take that in, like it's something that belongs to us, is what he's saying. And so it's really just a case of recognizing that there wouldn't be a loss to suffer if you allowed their opinions to stay with them. So many times there's, relating to self-worth and self-value, there are programs that say that something should be demanded of us in order to be in a loving relationship. And so we can give our power away when someone is offended by something that we said that was not offensive, but they took offense. When we feel that in our energy, then that's a sure sign that our boundaries aren't protected, or there's some kind of connection of, he's saying that there's strife in the connection, meaning like, we're always connected to soulmates and to our loved ones through, he's calling it the eternal grid, the connection of pure unconditional love that we have. And if there are resentments tied, or stories where, or we haven't been able to break free of what it is our parents did to us, then that's still that we aren't willing to take responsibility for choosing. And I'm not saying that they were easy, okay? I'm not saying that what I had from age 0 to, throughout my childhood was not easy. And I'm not going to say that it was easy to forgive my soul for having gone through the things that I did. That's really, we can give lip service to that a lot, but when we test, and you can use kinesiology to test for programs in the subconscious, you'll be surprised to find that there could still be some bitterness or some resentment that we're harboring. And in that way, blaming and giving responsibility for our own choices, the choices of our soul, that an aspect of us that we are unconscious of made in order for us to grow. And typically, the patterns and the stories that we live through that are painful in childhood are ancestral stories. And usually, and I say this to my own kids, the moms get hit the hardest. Maybe their dad would say different, but I don't think so. And we blame our moms. Our moms are the carers, typically. And when, especially if that's missing, then there's a big hole left to fill. And we took on that story so that we could parent ourselves and show ourselves, demonstrate, he's saying, for ourselves through care of the physical body, through the way that we speak to ourselves, and through the contracts that we choose to enter into of equality and equal energetic exchange, that wound is healed on, because we're showing our inner child that we're the adult in charge and that they're safe, that they're okay to believe that they're being taken care of. And so we're going to do healing in reference to giving power away and also connecting to our sacred abilities, is what Metatron is calling them, our psychic gifts and intuitive abilities that, at times, and especially for those of us who do readings, I've been told a long time before I started this, even, as I guess a teenager was when I first heard that I came from a long line of seers and healers and people who used their intuitive and psychic abilities. Most of us have come from, at some point that is in the DNA as well. But a lot of times that connection wasn't always love and light. It just wasn't. The church did kill a lot of people for healing with medicinal herbs. That's true. But there is a reason why witches have a bad name. And if you've done enough past life work, as much as I have, for years and years of taking people into past lives and going into my own past lives, you will see that curses and, witchcraft that came from a place of wanting to have power and not for what is best for all that is, those things took place. And so when, they're shown in different ways in this timeline, it only means that it's time to do that healing. It isn't that we're bad or that we've been judged in any way. It's just that there's something, he's showing me like a little tweaking of how it is that we can connect to the creator. And this is also part of this story too, what he's bringing up now, is that it can be an issue of worthiness, that because of religious programming, we can feel that we're unworthy of the vibrations that come directly through the creator's pure unconditional love and light as aspects of the creator or demonstrations of the creator's expression, like the angels. And we can connect in through aspects of the ancestors that I'll just explain. What he showed to me was my aura was huge, and I mean huge when he showed me, and the archangels or the representations of the creator's pure love and light were at like the outside, but then closer to me it was energies that I'd worked with in past lives or aspects of me who had accessed like the knowing, let's say, through a different vibration. Let's just say a different vibration. And that's because we didn't know what we know now. Obviously, we're always evolving. Teachings that came out in the 80s and 90s now we're getting more assistance, he's saying, in higher understanding and being able to ground those in now, he's saying, from the network, the supply chain that runs directly from the creator of all that is and comes through the vibration I call Metatron. But everybody, however you see that, that's fine with me. But so we're going to do, because of the things that came up for Venus during Venus retrograde, which happened in the earlier part of the year, like in the northern hemisphere. I meant to check the date before I started this video and I forgot. But it was like late, like spring, summer. I'll put it in the description box, so that you get, because it's been a really long year, right? But I had something that had come up actually with somebody before, someone who I wasn't good friends with for a long period of time. And we sort of came online, let's say we started together and I continued to do work on myself, and that wasn't their path at the time. But it kind of became obvious, like, okay, it's time to break away. And not in a way like there was any hostility or, argument or anything, like any conflict. It was just like, okay, and so you might also, like during this period now, as she goes through Sag, she's opposing her retrograde path. And so that may be, coming up for you too. Another thing that I was brought to my attention with triggers was someone had made an observation with me. Again, someone who doesn't know me very well, hasn't known me for a long time, but made an observation with me. And the way that it was said was condescending. Sort of like they mocked me a little. But, and this is how you can tell if it's true. If it doesn't faze you, it's not true. If you don't feel any trigger or feel offended that someone, needed to condescend to you, then, that's an easy way to tell that that's what they're projecting onto you. I think that she thinks that that's pathetic. What she had observed about me, which, like I said, not true. But because she mocked it, I know that that's something that she thinks about herself, that she was projecting onto me. And then it's just easy to be like, okay, whatever. Like I don't even think I didn't say like, oh, you're mocking me because that's you. I'm not recommending that because of the astrology right now. Maybe just want to back away and be like, oh, interesting. How interesting. Or you could say to the person, how interesting, and then just let it go. Because that's, whenever we take offense, then that creates those, some people say psychic attack. It's just little arrows that go back and forth that we can trade. Truly, we mostly send those to ourselves. That's usually the internal criticism that, conjures that kind of like feeling of where we're under attack. It's really because what we've been saying to ourselves all day. But what he wanted to remind everyone of is that this new moon, that we're still in the energy of the new moon solar eclipse in Sagittarius, is trine Mars. And I actually made a post yesterday in the community tab about this too. And I want to read now the Omega symbol for the degree of this new moon. So it is, when it's about manifesting, it is a man in his imagining inventing flowers, the seeds of which magically appear. So it's seeing like the big picture, where you want to end up, what you would like to manifest. And then the like breadcrumbs or signs, or, like you can just see something in a post, or you can be walking by a radio or a TV and somebody says something, or just happens in conversation, it comes up. And the seeds of how to get there are made plain, is the way that he's putting it. So, and it's important right now too, if you do some sort of manifesting ceremony, like luckily the solstice, when when Saturn and Jupiter come together, that is the first quarter moon. And that's always the best time to take a step forward. So if you didn't do any kind of manifesting ritual with the new moon, it's not too late. It's never really too late. Never a bad time to do the wrong thing is what he's saying, like in relation to retrogrades or out of bounds planets or what have you. You know, our inner compass is always guiding us to the truth. And if we're just in a place of quiet within the self, it's pretty easy to to link into that knowledge. And he is reminding me as well that although this is in a trine, you know, fire and fire, Sagittarius and Aries, and Mars is like going forward. He's the pioneer, the frontiersman. He seeks something new. He wants a new place, not something new to conquer. And we're wrapping up this cycle. You know, Saturn hasn't been in Aquarius. It's like 30 years since he went in the last time. He left 27 years ago. And then the 19-year cycle of the eclipses, of the Gemini Sagittarius eclipses, and the 20-year cycle of Saturn and Jupiter meeting up, and the 12-year cycle of the last time that Jupiter was in Aquarius. We have a lot of new beginning energy. And that new moon fell between the Great Attractor and the Gate of the Gods, the galactic center. So it's a great time for us to be doing this work. Because the eclipse is on the south node, we are going to release and do manifesting work, and really just trying to bring all aspects and all levels of us to the highest truth, that any dream, he's saying, we can reach the impossible dream, and that it's good to, you know, to envision it, to see it, but to take a measured step forward in like what it is that you're working toward. That could be sending an email to someone, you know, just maybe doing research about what it is that you'd like to do. You know, you'll know. I mean, of course, everybody's got different ideas of what they want to do and what they're going to manifest, but you will know. You know, if it's a healthy relationship, it's good to let go and release and forgive toxic relationships. Also, he mentioned the veil in the last video and why we have, you know, at times the veil is drawn. So, and the Chandra symbol, so I told you the Omega symbol about, you know, seeing the flower and then the seeds that started that flower magically appearing. The Chandra symbol is a statue of Isis is covered by a transparent veil. So, you know, it is that we are stepping out in faith. That's also Jupiter and Sagittarius. We have, and he's talking about the most important faith is faith in ourselves, in our own ability, trusting that we are supported, Saturn, in being able to manifest what it is that we would like to see happen on this planet. And then also he was talking about in relation to holding the vision, or where we say we're holding space for someone, that isn't, he's saying, a guarantee of someone making a choice that we would say is the most advantageous for them, and that there can be ties to obligations that we enable through belief, because we believe that we're responsible, especially when it's our children, even adult children. You know, really, that creates so much resentment between soulmates, that the obligation to take care of another one. And that was something else that I had this week to let go of too. So the inspiration to lead, you know, you don't have to see yourself leading crowds of people by the thousands, but being the leader in your life, being the sovereign being that you are created as. So all of that we're going to do the healing for. And, oh, he wanted me to read. So I took this is actually from Alana Fairchild's Sacred Rebels Guidebook, okay? And this is from the card Follow Your Own Rhythm. And he asked me to read this for you. Deep within, you are moved by an ancient, powerful force that cannot be tamed. It is the rising pulse of your connection to the life force. You feel it in your homes, in your blood, in your heart, and in your belly. When there is something dying within, you sense it falling away, no longer needed. Your sense your sense when it is time to rest and be patiently in transition. You feel the stirring of agitation and restlessness when new life calls you to create, to act, to step forward, and to take a risk. You know that you march to your own beat, that no one else can tell you what your inner rhythms are, and that you must trust in your own timing. You cannot be rushed or forced, nor can you be held back when it is time to burst forth. Life celebrates and supports the natural rise and fall of your inner rhythms. This oracle brings you the special message that you cannot miss what you are destined for, nor will you gain anything trying to push yourself. Trust in the life cycles within you. You will begin to feel the perfect balance between effort and surrender, discipline and letting go. Okay. So I'm not sure. Trying to think, do I want to stop the video and start again? I think we're just gonna. He's saying forge onward. We're just going to go forward. Okay. So, all right. I want to just remind you, or for all of you who haven't done this with me before, it's helpful if you're in like a dark room. And then when we do the healing, like after we're finished, because we're changing programs in the DNA, it's important that you drink a lot of water and that you get plenty of rest as that integrates over like the next couple of days. And he's reminding us that the instant manifestations that are coming now are creative inspiration, fire, once again, that we're in a time of great inspiration and that we have every reason to be hopeful and to trust that our path is assured, and that there are supporters coming. If you've been asking for support for others, he's asking and reminding us it's always darkest before the dawn, and he's saying just hold on a bit longer. And that, yeah, it does always, I find for myself too, he's reminding me that right when we feel like, okay, I'm giving up, that's when, the salvation comes in, that link that we needed, that inspiration that we needed, the help that we needed shows up. Okay. So I know it's a hard time right now, and I don't want to make little of the fact that 300,000 Americans have died now just from the coronavirus that we know of anyway, and that worldwide I think it's been about 1.5 million. That's not a small number. And there's a lot of mourning and there's a lot of grief in the ethers. Every single one of those people has probably at least one person that loves them, that is grieving for them. It's not an easy time to be here. So we're going to do work with that as well. And aligning to our divine timing and what is best for all that is. And remembering that sacrifice is unnecessary is what he's saying. That you're worthy and deserving simply because you exist. And the creator of all that is exists within you. That you are the magician, he's saying. Every single one of us is a magician. Okay. So if you want to, find a place to sit, and we're going to put our feet on the floor. We're going to go into the white light of the Creator. And I need to this is what I was worried about. So it's good that it's happening now. Oh, shoot. I don't remember what I pressed last time that made this stop. Okay, I'm going to have to stop the camera and start again. Okay. Sorry. Oh dear. I was worried that I was going to have my eyes closed and it was going to go black, and then I really don't know what's going on. So, okay. Little hijinks, little Mercury out of bounds action happening. All right. So, okay, everybody. Let's put our feet on the floor and then release the tongue from the roof of the mouth, because that instantly relaxes us. We're going to close our eyes and relax our shoulders. And then we're focusing on the root chakra. And seeing the root chakra, right where the tailbone ends, there is something called an internal molecule. And it acts almost as like the latch where the cord drops down. So some of you will see that spinning in your root chakra. We're just going to release the cord, allowing the cord to go down to the heart of the earth, to the fixed point within the earth. And then we're focusing about 20 inches above our heads in the stellar gateway, witnessing the orange ray of Archangel Metatron filling the stellar gateway, moving into the solar star, the soul star, the crown star, the crown chakra. So filling the pineal gland, moving forward to the amygdala, the third eye, as it moves back to the ultra major at the base of the brain, then filling the throat chakra, the heart chakra, the solar plexus, the sacral chakra, the root chakra, fully engaging and activating the portal of the root chakra that is key in manifesting, and the orange ray spiraling down through the legs, moving through the bottoms of the feet, coming into the earth star, watching any stuck or stagnant energy in our fields, draining into the earth as the orange ray spirals up through your aura to the stellar gateway and down the center to the earth star and up to the stellar gateway and down again, creating a torus field of Metatron's orange ray within your space. Going to witness as the Creator clears, aligns, rotates, opens, and connects all of your chakras, harmonizing them, filling in any holes or tears in your aura, expanding your aura as we witness within Metatron's ray the tiny sparkles of white light shimmering throughout the ray, watching them each grow and expand until they're all connecting and meeting, filling all of you and all of your space with the light of creation as you dissolve into and become the light, allowing the Creator's pure unconditional love to flow throughout every quark of your being and every cell of your body. We're going to ask the Creator to download all aspects and all levels of you, what it means from the Creator's highest truth, that you are allowed to call back any power that you have given away when you were unknowing of what it means to take responsibility for your choices and the choices of your soul. Anywhere where there has been blame or pain, or he's saying allegations of wrongdoing, we're going to ask the Creator to remove that story. We're going to ask the Creator to remove the story of allowing others power and authority over us, jeopardizing our standing and what it means to be sovereign from the Creator's perspective. And you could say yes, if that's okay. We're going to ask the Creator to download all aspects and all levels of you, what it means to stand as a sovereign being, and that your truth of what that means for all aspects and all levels of you matches the Creator's highest truth, that has nothing to do with man-made sovereignty, that is a divine birthright, and that your aura understands what it means to have safe boundaries, to allow protection for those boundaries. And we're going to ask the Creator to close any porous boundaries and release anything from your space that has nothing to do with you or was formed, he's saying, through a connection of strife. And you could say yes, if that's okay. We're going to ask the Creator to download all aspects and all levels of you, that it is your divine birthright to receive protection, that nothing is asked for, like you don't need to live up to a certain behavior or certain standard of behavior, that is your divine birthright to receive that, and that you're free to, and it's safe for you to be open and to give allowance to receive. And you said yeah, and you could say yes. We're going to ask the Creator to download all aspects and all levels of you, what it means that you are free to set goals for yourself without looking outside of yourself, or having, like, needing someone to tell you what it is. That is the desires of your heart, that you are now worthy, deserving, and able to connect to your heart and to find out the treasures that lie there within you, and to manifest your own heaven on earth. What it means to look soar, he's saying, beyond the illusion, and to recognize that you are wholly supported by the Creator of all that is, and that you're allowed to release any doubts as to whether or not that is the truth. Yes? We're going to ask the Creator to download all aspects and all levels, what it means to work in harmonious cooperation between yourself and the other, allowing the Creator to be the bridge, or the vibration of Archangel Metatron, to bridge the connection for you, that has nothing to do with being weak, that we're all connected and all a part of all that is, and that you're simply opening yourself up to have a new story, and a more rewarding story of partnership, and what it means to be helped. And you could say yes, if that's okay. And then I'm going to ask the Creator to release from all of our technology and our vibration, any barriers or boundaries that have been crossed. He's saying because of stories found in the DNA relating to contracts that we agree to terms without reading. I mean, maybe some of you read all 24 pages of those, but if you have like ever said, I agree to, that now you understand, and I know consciously we all do, but that all aspects and all levels of you understands what it means, that your sovereignty covers you and prevent others from taking knowledge from you or planting knowledge into you. That free will choice is why we are here, and that you're allowed to release the story or the fear that anyone could ever take away your power and authority and your gift of free will choice is what he's saying. So you can say yes if that's okay. And that you know what it means to come to your inner sanctuary, that you're allowed to release from your vibration or your history, he's saying, disharmonious connections without the fear that you would feel that you are alone, that the universe lives and all that is within you, and that you're allowed to connect through that safe harbor within the manifestation of the Creator's pure unconditional love that lives within you, that you are a conduit of that energy, and that that energy is yours, that you accept and embrace being a part of the divine and all that that means without fear that you would be called into service or have to sacrifice or give something up. And you could say yes if that's okay. Okay, and then for all of these connections of disharmony, we're going to ask the Creator to cleanse and return the soul fragments between yourself and all of those who you shared that paradigm with, and all of that power coming back into, he's saying, your magnificent vibration. So you may feel that in the solar plexus or the root chakra. You could say yes if that's okay. Okay. All right, everyone. So I hope that you found that helpful. I know this is going to be pretty fast. Oh, no, it's not. I thought it was 15 minutes. It's 42 minutes. So anyway, everybody, I hope that you found this helpful, and I hope to be back before Christmas. But thank you, everyone, for the holiday wishes. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. And I'm not sure the dates of Kwanzaa, but Happy Kwanzaa as well. And whatever it is that you choose to celebrate. Yeah, happy holidays to everybody. And I'm sending you guys so much love. And thank you all so much for your support and kindness to me. I appreciate all of you very much. And yeah, until we speak again.